I'm ready.
Are you still ready?
Yeah,
Ready?
Are you still ready? Ready? Are you ready
I'm
already?
ready. Bye bye.
We're, I'm not ready for this cold weather, guys.
I just reversed my fans right before this call in the shop. I reverse them once a year. It's when I go through denial for a while and I just went out of denial and I just reverse them both. That means that the want to push that heat down.
I wonder if I've done mine yet.
Makes a huge difference. The taller the ceilings, the more difference it makes. I have 10-foot ceilings. So when I come in from the stairs, I'm closer to the ceiling on the far end, and you can feel the heat when you don't have the fan on. That just sits up there wasted.
So our upstairs is like crazy warm, like
Hmm.
almost too warm, and our downstairs, you walk downstairs, it's like a 8-degree difference.
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
Yeah.
Yep, heat rises.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, well, we get company in the house and they are from Florida, my son, daughter-in-law, and my grandson, and they like it. They they're like, this isn't bad. And then all of a sudden they walked out this morning, they go, oh. It was 28 here in Whitestown.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Yeah. My nipples were hard.
it's a big difference. We were
Mm. We have to wait till at least an hour into the podcast, Sedge, to
Oh,
make this a
sorry.
X-rated.
Sorry.
Well, you
Oh
guys,
God. You
let's
can
knock
act.
out our admin stuff real quick. I feel like we
Okay.
have lots to talk about since we were just with each other for a few days.
It's like,
Um, so I have let everybody down this month, and it's probably because we switched to every other week, and it's not always on my mind. Um, I never got us a giveaway sponsor for this month. Sorry, everyone.
ah.
We will still give away a piece of festival swag on our next episode for the month of November.
Hey, you
Well,
want? I can make it pretty good. Maybe we could discuss that.
okay. We still have a couple of small things left, but
Okay.
forgive me, everyone. Next month, I'm going to try to get a few together for the good old Christmas spirit. But we do have one new patron,
Oh,
Chelsea Keetle,
awesome.
which I believe is Mr.
Yeah.
Seth Keetle's
Oh,
wife, in
yes.
which we met this weekend at the good old
Yes.
Hartville Tool Show, which we will be talking about to everybody listening.
Wicked
Um,
cool.
I believe that's who it is. If I'm wrong,
it
I
is.
apologize. Okay.
It is. He told me that he did it. He's a very smart dude, and he just decided that she needed to be a patron as well, and increased his odds for winning prizes. And
Oh,
That,
it's
and now she's a patron, so she now has access to come to
right.
the con. Although she would
Con,
have been able
con,
to come because she had con.
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 So let's talk about that for a quick second, shall we?
Let's do it.
So we're not going to talk about the con, everybody, necessarily. But a few episodes back, we had mentioned that we were going to get things together and we're going to be putting tickets on sale, all that stuff. That'll probably happen right when we go into the new year.
Mm.
They will probably be on sale. Here's the thing, though. We are talking about changing the name of the podcast. For those of you that have not seen that on Discord, and just to clear the air, because there was some discussion on Discord, me, Ronnie, and Sedge all know why we named the Green Suiters podcast the Green Suiters podcast. And I will say, yes, it is a little bit of a nod to the fact that we all use Festool. However, it was actually originally created because it was a military thing, and it was me and Ben, and then we brought Sedge on, or we decided before we even started the podcast to bring Sedge on, and then it was like the name still works, and that's where we came up with like it's kind of a nod to Festool. However, we've been discussing it. We have some ideas. Some of the patrons have left some great examples or great suggestions. And I would say, out of all the ones that I saw, I think there's probably about 3 or 4 realistically that I think we could either, strongly consider or tailor to make it a little bit different, right?
Yep.
So the reason why we're thinking about doing this is I've been paying attention to like podcast rankings, specifically in the hobbies category, which is what our podcast is in. And it's always very difficult to find the green suiters. Or if I type in woodworking podcast, almost never do we see anything about green suiters podcast. And I think we all agreed that it's not something that screams a podcast about woodworking, even though it says on the logo, the woodworking podcast. So we're thinking we need to make a change and have it be a little bit more direct towards woodworking so more people can find it. And hopefully it helps us in the rankings. And honestly, we should have done this a long time ago. Sedge and I were discussing that.
Cameron and I were talking about on the way back from Hartville, and we were talking about that unless something else sticks, I could still see us all referring to ourselves as green suitors, no matter what the name of the podcast is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Because
I mean, that's like the original OG crew, you know.
I mean, everyone is a green suitor that joins, but the podcast could have a totally different name, but you could still be a green suitor because it's not like they're going to be little Bentleys or little Sedgeleys.
Or little Ronnies.
Well, yeah. I mean, that term may still stick, even though we changed the name of it for searchability rankings. That's
for sure,
yeah.
for sure, yeah.
So it could even still be called Green Suitors, Connie, for example. Possibly.
Yeah, our patrons could be referred to as green suitors.
That's what I'm saying. It's still the patrons would still be green suitors. So it could still be Green Suitor Con, but we could change the name of the podcast. We have, two, doesn't have to be all under one name.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to point that out, that we're mainly doing this for SEO reasons, searchability reasons, which, like you said, probably should have been done a while back, but nothing else big is changing about it except for that, right?
Right. And well, unfortunately, like I think Sedge and I had this discussion when Ben initially left, before you even came on, Ronnie. And I think I was hesitant at the time, and now I'm kicking myself. And Sedge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I was hesitant because I was like, oh, well, we already have everything, labeled and all that stuff. But then I thought about it the past couple of weeks as I was looking at rankings, seeing where we stack up. And I was like, well, we don't really have any assets. We don't have any swag that's branded Green Suitors Podcast. The biggest thing we have is stickers. That's not a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do have a website, but no one ever uses it, and we never use it. And I haven't touched it in months, right? So if we end up deciding on a name sooner rather than later, then I would actually end up changing I'd buy that URL and make a website, because that is where I'm saying all of this to say that is where we're going to be selling tickets. Whatever that site is, that is where you will be able to go and purchase tickets to the con.
When you mentioned assets, I do have that tattoo, but I have another cheek, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I got one for you. I was thinking of a cool name for a podcast called Got Wood.
Got Wood.
Okay, so I typed it in Spotify, and I said Got Wood Podcast. Guess what came up number one?
Not good.
Green Suitors.
No, it didn't. Did it really?
Look.
Well, we have an episode called Got Wood.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we do. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Click on it real quick, Sedge. See what it does.
I think that's what it is.
I think we do have an episode called Got.
Okay, the first one that comes up, it says, at number 86, Sedge has better things to do. Ronnie almost died, and Jason is in love with something. Nothing. I don't see anything about Got Wood.
Huh.
God,
that's a cool name of a podcast, isn't it?
I don't hate it.
Got Wood.
It's Ronnie, what do you think? I do not hate that.
We need to list the finalists. I don't think there's more than 3 or 4, is there?
No. So what did we have? We had Grain and Grit.
Okay, so there is a
I think it was Grit and Grain
podcast.
Dang it.
It's called Get Wood, but it's
Yeah.
some Get Wood
Unfortunately,
podcast.
Got Wood is probably already taken for a website.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I
But
think I
hey,
visited it a few days ago.
oh yeah, it's Get Wood is a comedy podcast. That's some lady, Jess Wood.
We could always do Bentwood.
It would.
Bentwood.
No. Um,
What was that name of that thing we were going to call it? Sedge's Bent Tool?
oh yeah, our YouTube channel, our
Our YouTube
collaboration
channel.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Sedge's Bentwood.
What about the
Okay,
three
Ronnie. I'm
splinters?
sorry,
What about
Ronnie. We have to
the
kick you
three
off the podcast now
three?
because now we're going to call it Sedge's Bentwood.
What about the three splinters?
Honestly, I don't hate that one.
I like it too.
Honestly,
three-
I do not hate that one.
The Splinter Group.
The Splinter Society.
Three Splinters podcast. Oh my God.
That's cool. This is spitballing, man.
I like it.
Hold on.
You
I
know
need to write that
what?
down.
I thought of it because of the got wood, and I was thinking wood and splinters.
I mean, Splinters is definitely with woodworking.
Yes,
Yep.
everybody knows it, and people who are woodworkers think about it because we all constantly get them. So,
Well, I
Yep.
don't. I don't actually
Well,
build anything or handle any
that's
wood.
true.
Three Splinters. All right. Well, we won't spend any more time on this. But if anybody here has suggestions, because this is coming out Friday to the patrons, and Monday. So after Thanksgiving, hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. Go on to Discord and go into the announcements tab, and you'll see the thread that I posted on there. Steve Iadarola, our good buddy Steve, he actually did the same thing with ChatGPT that we did.
Oh, cool.
And it's really interesting. Like if you go in there and read it, it's really cool. I think he came up with like 45 different names, and they all have different reasoning for the names. Pretty cool. So, anyways, we are planning on changing it, and due to that, we are a little bit of a delay with launching the ticket sales for the next con.
Con.
Which, for those of you that are listening, we are doing it a week or two later than we did. So just plan on that. Know that early October. That's what we talked about, right? Early October. I
Yep.
need to pull up my notes from when we had our meeting, but
It's,
yeah, it's going to be great. God, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
boy, 2025 is booking up quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do if someone says, "Hey, we got to do something in March." I can't. I got everything planned for March. I got everything planned for September. November looks busy. October looks busy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. March is already shot. JLC, Workbench Con for us. I said, I know you're not going, but that's like the end of February, first day of March or something. But
Yeah.
something else is in March besides JLC too.
Oh, the Arnold.
Oh, it's Cameron's birthday.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Is that his 18th birthday?
Yes, it is. 29th, March 29th.
Are you guys throwing a big party?
No, I didn't even think about it till just now.
I want
I
to
guess we
come.
probably should. I don't know. I'll have to find out what's going
Oh.
on. That's crazy. That sounds so far away, and then it's not. As we're sitting there talking about it, the year's almost over. We're 3 months in. Gosh, it's fast.
Oh, before we're going to talk about Hartville, obviously, because it was a great time as always.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't go, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys a question. So, Ronnie, I don't think you've seen the pictures and stuff of the remodel area that I'm doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'd say we had to cut 2 trenches. I'm gonna set the context for you guys, and I want to hear your guys' opinions and thoughts on what you think doing something should cost. Okay, because I'm curious. I've got about a 4 or a 6 foot by 8 foot section in the ceiling. Then I've got about a 6-inch wide, sliver where there was a wall that runs up. Then I have 2 trenches that come off of that big open area where they did all the electrical. And then I have 2 holes because we relocated ceiling lights. 2 6-inch holes. Okay, I have textured ceilings. To have that done, so do the drywall, the mud, and do the ceiling and retexture all the places that need the retexturing in the ceiling. And the company that I talked to today said that no, we will not need to sand down the entire room. We will be able to match it pretty close, if not dead on. And I'm like, okay. To do that, what do you guys think would be a fair price? We're talking 3 sheets of drywall at the most, couple of odd shaped pieces, couple of holes getting plugged, and then sanding, finish work, and then retexturing that large area of the ceiling.
I'm gonna go 1,500.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really cool because I was thinking, I know the work involved, and I was thinking $1,000.
Okay. So $1,000, $1,500.
No, I'm not.
And this is
I'm thinking as a single person doing it.
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay, and I can knock that out. I can blend that texture. I know the 2 holes and everything, the plugs, and throw that up. Is that primed afterwards, or just taped and mudded, and you finish it? It's all finished and painted.
No, it's not painted.
Just getting the
I'd
drywall
have to go
back.
do that part. Yep.
Will they prime it, or you got to prime it?
They won't prime it.
I doubt they'll prime it. I'm sure
Yeah.
I'll have to prime and paint.
Okay, but okay. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, I think Ronnie's closer at 1,500
But
because I'm thinking about I was just throwing it up there, putting the first tape screws, first mud on screws, but
mhm,
texturing. Yeah, yeah, I'd have to come back a day or two
right, that's
for
where maybe bump it up a little
1,500.
bit. That's why I bumped it up a little bit to the
Yeah,
1,500 because it's
I wasn't thinking it through.
yeah, it's not a 1 day thing, so
Nope.
that's where I would think. What'd
You don't
get?
think they could do that in one day if they use some quick?
No.
They possibly
probably
could, but
not.
I doubt they would.
They'd have to at least get one coat on, let it dry overnight, and come back, sand it, and do the next coat the next day.
Well, they could put like
Is it 2 coats, or are they going to drag it out to 10 or 12-inch knives?
I don't know. So the funny thing is, the only areas that are actually going to be visible when I'm done with the built-in is actually the ceiling. So the wall, like I was tempted just to go cut a couple of pieces that I have in my basement and patch the wall real quick and not even have them do that.
yeah.
But then I was like, just have them come out and do it all in one day. So I'll tell you what I was quoted. I was quoted $1,400 to $1,500.
Whoa.
Yep, $1,400 to
Awesome.
$1,500, and then I asked, what availability is there, and they said we can do it as early as next Tuesday, or come out as early as next Tuesday. And I said, okay. And then I said, do you guys offer any military discount? They give a 10% off discount for military, so it's actually only going to be about, I don't know, $1,200. I just wanted to see if I'm crazy on thinking that was fairly reasonable
Oh no, it is. I think if you
for
got
me not
someone
to have to worry about it at all.
It's no touch.
if you
it's
had
no touch.
somebody that didn't know what they were doing as much, I think they'd quote it out at 600.
Okay.
If they didn't know what they were getting into.
Because I think I could do it on my own for like $600.
Yeah.
Getting
I think
everything that I need to get, probably not even that much.
yeah, probably less because drywall is so cheap and the materials are so cheap. You probably get the materials for, like $150. It's cheap, but it's all about the labor and the know-how and doing but yeah, that sounds like it's a very fair price, especially if they're going to be able to match the ceiling up because that's not easy to match the ceiling. I've tried to pull that off before on some of our rentals and I've gotten it close, but you can tell if you're looking. You have to really, I mean, they probably have a different selection of different brushes, those little press, whatever those are called. I have the
Yep.
one that I was able to get, but they have different ones. They can tell which one was used. And they also can tell when it was, even
Yep.
when you press it different times and when it's curing, it's going to look different.
Yep.
So that's
I'm sure that it's still going to be noticeable because the very first question I asked is is my entire, I'm assuming my entire kitchen's gonna have to be sanded. And she's like, no, sir, the guy that we use for the drywall, he's very good, and he assures that he can match your texture very, very closely, if not identically. And I'm like, okay.
I'd say he will, but you won't be able to once it's all painted, the ceiling's all painted, that's when it'll probably really disappear completely.
Well, the other problem that I have is that when I put that fresh paint up there on those new spots, you're going to be able to tell that there's new paint up there versus the old paint.
That's where they need the primer is going to be important to seal that up, or it's going to suck the paint in there,
Yep.
Yeah.
and it'll have a different kind of sheen.
Yep.
Mhm.
But that's
Okay. So I don't feel so
Yeah.
bad about it now.
no, that's and what you know what's crazy about that is if you had them do like drywall your whole kitchen, it probably would be like, for example, like $3,000 to do your whole kitchen with new drywall. It just takes more time. It's harder to fix than it is to just do new work.
Mhm.
But that's reasonable. I mean, there's a minimum. They're going to be
Hmm.
out there for a day.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he was hitting. He was hitting his minimum. I wouldn't be surprised if you had double the amount that you have, and it still would be $1,500.
Yeah. I almost wanted to rip down a bunch of other areas and be like, just do it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, now I feel better. Both of you guys had estimates that were right around what they quoted. So, I mean, if that sounds fair, I thought it sounded fair, right? And it's for me, I'm not trying to find the cheapest guy because
Yeah. Like I
that
said,
doesn't.
you'd find somebody to do it for 600 if you looked around hard enough, but no.
Yeah.
You you could have hired me for 3 12 packs of hazy IPA like you suggested,
Yeah.
but it would
Yeah.
take a while.
Because you have all the time in the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm on vacation. I'm so beat. Oh,
Well, that's not good. You're not supposed to be tired on vacation.
that's
No, you're
okay. I'm
not.
having so much fun with my grandson. Oh,
Yeah. Who's all there right now?
Frankie, Amy, that's my daughter-in-law. Frankie's my son, and Gray, my grandson. We got 16 people coming for Thanksgiving.
16.
Yep.
You better be making some chairs.
Wow.
Oh, it's our group. It's our tight group plus the
Yeah.
kids. Yeah.
Whew. That's a
We got a
lot of
24
folks.
We got a 24-pound turkey. We got an 18-pound ham.
That's it.
Oh man, we're so stoked. Yeah, that's it. He says.
Yeah.
We're so
You only have like
stoked that
45 pounds of meat.
I think Amy's already putting a pumpkin pie together right now, or pumpkin something. Her and Marianne are in the kitchen right now. Yeah, I think they're gonna move up next year.
Really?
Oh yeah, they're looking at property all the time.
Wow.
Yeah. Carmel, Westfield, Zionsville. Yep.
Nice.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
oh, for sure. And Frankie will, finish out his duties down in Miami. He'll work a week down there, come up here a week, and he'll do that for another 2 years. But he wants to get Gray up here in good schools.
Nice.
Yeah, and Amy's parents, they may end up here too, from Staten Island, and it's nice. They really like it up here. Last year when they were up here for the Christmas party, they actually got an Airbnb. They loved it, but they also went into Carmel and started driving around, and they're like, and even when they were shopping, everybody was so nice. And I go, well, that's what Indiana is. People are nice, So I'm pretty stoked. I really am stoked.
Yeah.
I say I'm having a time of my life with my grandson right now. He's 10. Oh my God. We shopping. We've been whittling. And just yesterday, I did my last mow to collect leaves and make sure all the grass was even. And I would mow, dump it in the wheelbarrow, and I taught him to fill the leaf bags. He helped me immensely. I was like, I could really get used to this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll,
It
I'll,
just,
I'll loan Leo out to you anytime.
oh,
Yeah.
I'd love it. But it's just nice that he goes, okay, what's next, Pops? What's next, Pops? Hey, Pops, you want to go out to the shop? Come on, man, let's go. Let's sharpen that hatchet. Hey, so he's kind of freaking out because I opened up my knife drawer and I was taking out these knives that just sit there, and I go, you should take that one home with you.
Hmm.
And he goes, really? He's like freaking out. It's my fishing knife I bought when I was 16.
Mhm.
And he's go, really, Pops? And then he goes, what's that one? So I
You don't
pulled
have a
out
need for this one over here or this one, do you?
I think he's already got 7 knives he's taken home with him. And you know what he said to me last night? He said, I know you got some upstairs. Oh,
Now you got
he's
some more.
so cute. But I do. What am I gonna do with them? You know, they're just sitting there. So I got a really cool one I have upstairs. So I'll give that to him on Friday night. They're leaving Saturday morning. It's just nice having them here. Amy's working remote. She works for Hyatt and she just handles, there's 120 all-inclusive properties and she handles, I think, a third of them. It's pretty cool. So just neat.
That's
And
neat.
that's
Very cool.
okay. I guess we're doing what we've been up to because that's what I've been up to. But I got some other stuff I want to tell you guys about.
Well, please.
Sedge Tool hit 30K this morning.
Oh,
Really?
nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Thanks. Chris and I were waiting for that one. It was a
That's
goal.
cool. That's awesome.
Nice. It was a goal for this year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
good.
there
Well,
you
you
go.
hit it.
At least 30K. So we got another month.
Yeah. You made it in
And
November.
numbers are up. We're pretty stoked. That's the other thing at Hartville. Everybody was walking up saying, Sedge, I love the Mitre sauce stand. Even Eric
Oh, that's neat.
Spencer came up to me and was like, dude, I love the Mitre sauce stand.
Yeah, he said he's
Yeah,
working on one as well.
well, I had a great weekend until he walked in.
We
You know
almost
what he
made
did?
it. We almost made it till Sunday.
On Saturday, right before my presentation, he left the off the cut sticker on my MFT.
Oh yeah, he got there, and then I was like, "Where did he go?" And he comes
Yeah.
back upstairs, and he said that he was um, staging
Yeah.
stickers for your live that hopefully you would find. And then he was like, "Oh, you guys gonna go watch it?" I'm like, "No, we watched it yesterday." He's like, "Oh, I thinking I should go down there just so I can see if he catches it." I'm like, "I'm sure he'll find it."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find it during the
Oh no no
presentation?
no!
Oh man.
I threw it in the garbage can before I started.
Oh, yeah, of course.
They make really great garbage can labels. You
Yeah.
stick it on the
Yeah.
front and everybody knows
Well,
it's garbage.
Yeah.
I have one on my garbage can, and I know you have one in your van. I
Yes.
know. It's
You know,
awesome.
I've actually isn't off the cut mean garbage in Romanian?
It is.
I believe it is.
Yes.
Is it
I think
maybe
so.
it's Hungarian?
Venezuelan.
Ah,
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
So, you know, I did tell him that we were going to change the name of our podcast to On the Cut.
On the cut. We're just like off the cut, except we're on it.
Yeah.
We're not off it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
So just getting everything winterized around the house is what I've been up to, and just in the shop every day during vacation. I can't believe it. Well, we're recording Tuesday night now, and everybody's listening to this on Friday. But just lots of work. These drawers, the next one is uh well, we just released the cardboard mock-up one. People are like, "Oh wow, that's a cool idea." And then cutting the plywood and edge banding. And then we're gonna do one. I'm gonna put Rubio on this weekend. We're gonna shoot that Sunday. So I'm pretty stoked about that.
You
And
did
then,
you say you did get all your drawer fronts cut?
oh yeah, they're all cut edge banded.
Because
And now
I
just
know
gotta
you did that. I know you did that video on like the templates,
Yep.
the cardboard mock-ups. Yeah.
Yep. And then I got a couple new Tormac jigs that I've been messing around with. Um, there was a jig that I used previously, and I was like, it did okay, but it was a little antiquated, and I felt a little weird using it. It was their axe and hatchet sharpening jig, and they're a smart company to actually think, you know what, this is okay, but let's make it better.
Mhm.
And I don't know if Cam's got these new jigs. I got the new axe grinding jig, but I also got the new knife setting jig, and I am so impressed with it. Both of them.
Yeah. He's getting the new angle gauge. Jig that
Yes.
tells you the angle. He really likes that one.
I used it yesterday with
Mhm.
Gray because I was teaching him how to sharpen on the Tormac, and I was so impressed how easy it is. It's just
Mhm.
snap and set.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
you
boy,
really
you
like that one.
can. And I did I did the knife that I cut potatoes with, mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving. I made it with
Of course you did.
because that's what Thanksgiving's all about, mashed
Mashed potatoes.
potatoes. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for all the listeners, the only thing Sedge eats at Thanksgiving and Christmas is a gigantic plate of mashed potatoes,
And gravy, salt and pepper.
gravy, salt, pepper.
That works.
Did you guys see the Tormek T1?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Dirk
want that
from
thing so bad.
Dirk from Dayton bought one. I saw him on the way out on Sunday. He got
Did
one.
he?
Did he
Mm-hmm.
really?
Mm-hmm.
So, who was it that told me they sell it in all black? Was that you, Ronnie?
Yeah, we heard
T
that. Yeah.
T8. They have a T8 right now in all black.
Do
I
they
thought they were
really?
talking. I thought
Oh
they were
yeah.
talking about the T1 because we were talking about on a kitchen counter. They were saying they sell it in all black.
I want one. I'm getting one.
They are
I just think that's so cool. And I know
they're they're about
everybody's like, you have a
6 inches.
Tormek. Why don't you just do
They're
your
they're
knives on
about
that?
for anybody does they're like it's like a mini tournament. It's like 6 inches square maybe, and it has an automatic placement for the side of a kitchen knife to just pull it through. And the grinding wheel is so fine of a polish it feels like just glass. You can't even feel the abrasive. It's so fine, but it's just perfect for putting a knife in there and just doing it really
It's
quick.
yeah, specifically for chef's knives and for the kitchen to sit on your countertop. How
Yeah.
cool is that?
It's very cool. Kelly wasn't excited about it. I painted a picture of it to her. She doesn't. I mean, I don't like really a lot of things on the counter either, but she always is like, "Where would we put it?" Like she wasn't excited about the Vestal pizza cutter like I was. She was like, "Which drawer does it fit in?" And I was like,
Rude.
"She's like, we have three pizza cutters." I'm like, "Did you don't have a
Yeah, but they don't
Vestal
have dust collection like the
pizza
festival
cutter?
one.
That's
And
right.
this one's sharper." So
Speaking of
that's
swag, now on the fan shop at Festool are
Oh yeah,
Blackwing pencils,
Blackwing
yes.
pencils.
and you better get them when because they're selling hot, baby.
There
Chris
was
texts me from the meeting because we always see what the Festool fan shop selling. Holy moly! The first week went gangbusters, and we have the Festool shop in it too from Blackwing
The
nice.
Blackwing sharpener.
that says Festool.
Oh god,
Uh,
I'm ordering those right now.
It's
they spelled it.
amazing.
They spelled it right too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta order some from Allie because he wants me to ship some over to him.
yeah. I
Nice.
keep forgetting. I'm at least going to open up the website so I won't miss it or I'll remember it later.
And I just thought about this, Ronnie. I was going, oh man, after next weekend, the following weekend, I'm at Mueller on
Yes.
Saturday,
When?
Yes.
December 7th.
Um, I'm
Really?
currently,
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it's
doing
safe
a
to say, I don't think Kelly's going to hear this, but I'm looking at possibly taking her on a surprise trip for her birthday, which is the 6th. And we were talking about on the way back, and Cameron goes, "If you go," he goes, "I'm still going up to see Sedge. I'm still going on the 7th." I was like, and for a second, the part of me is like, "You can't go. You're a kid." And I thought, you know what? He can go. It's like an hour
yeah,
away. He can drive. He can do it. And I was like, okay. So he said, even if I don't go, he's still going. So just so
so
you know.
cool. It's such a good time at Hartville with everybody. That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fun.
Yep. So if I don't go, the only reason why will be if we go on a little surprise trip. And I tell you, do you ever go out there on all the websites? You know, you start pricing vacations and looking at destiny. It is overwhelming. It's
Yep.
like if you leave on this day or if you leave on this day, it's this much if you leave on this day. How many days do you stay?
Hmm.
And it gets so confusing. It's like you just have to lock and say, I'm doing this one. I've got because you can spend hours and hours and hours doing that. So
Oh yeah.
last night I was sitting with the laptop in my lap while we were just what she's like, what are you working on? I was like, just things.
Just
Have all
stuff.
these have all these windows up all over the place. And I'm just like, yeah. But we're trying to figure out something tropical, kind of a little maybe 4 or 5 day just surprise. And I'll wait till all the way up till the day of to tell her because I know her schedule
You
pretty
better hope
much.
she doesn't listen to this.
She's not. I think it's pretty safe to say. She's not. She sometimes when she gets into something in the house, she'll put it on and she'll start listening to them and catch up. But she's so far behind, she won't hear this by the time that because I only have like what it's the 20th. I'll have to figure this out in the next few days because her
This
birthday's
is
on
going
the
to be one of
6th.
those instances where, like that day that you were talking about her, and boom, there she was.
Yeah, and I'm safe too. I'm at the shop right now. I'm not at the
Well,
house. So
this is going to be the one episode that she's like, you know what? I love my husband. I'm going to show my support, and I'm going to listen to the podcast.
what day will this be on? This will be on the what?
Mm, it'll be released
Black
to
Friday.
everybody on Monday, but Friday for the patrons.
Oh, on the 20, is that 5th, 6th? What is that? I don't know what day Thanksgiving is.
Well,
20.
Today's the 26th, so no.
It'll be the 28th, 29th. It'll be released to patrons, and on whatever Monday is, the first.
Well, worst case, if she did hear it, she's only hearing it a few days early because we've had to leave by like the 4th or the 5th. So it's coming up. But I've been working on that a lot lately, trying to get that figured out.
Oh, should we mention the bourbon with the boys
Sure. Which
since we're
is,
talking about dates? The 13th of December.
yes, that works
I
out.
know, I know it's non-standard, but obviously we were not going to be doing a podcast or a bourbon with the boys this Friday just because we knew most people would probably be out of town or they had family in town, and it's just not a good day because it's the day after Thanksgiving. Um, and then obviously we have the last week in December, which is also Christmas week. So we're going to do one more before we close the year out, and we'll be on December 13th. Bourbon with the boys. The last one of the year. So
There you go. And then just where we kind of I went off a little bit from it, but Sedge was talking about Mueller in Cincinnati on the 7th
Yep.
is going to be kind of a demo in-store thing. Mueller's really cool. It's like a very, very miniature Hartville tool. They have
I
a
would
lot of
love
selection.
I would love to go, but unfortunately Nicole will be on her way back from Arizona that day. So if I came, I'd have to bring both boys.
Huh.
And that's
Hey,
probably not going to be a good idea.
I got a question for you.
7 inches.
Okay. That frame in the back, I don't recognize any of those people in the frame.
It's all family members of Nicole's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
They like to buy the frames from the stores and just leave the people in it.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that because we actually do have like 2 photos right now that still have the pictures that came in the frames mixed in with all her family.
That would be a good thing to tell people you do. Always have this list of things if you went to a high school reunion or they ask you what you do and you're like, when you buy those frames and I'm the dad in those pictures, I do that professionally. And people would be like,
Mm-hmm.
really? I guess that is a job. I never thought about that. That's a
Mm-hmm.
good way to tell people what you did. If
So
you wanted to lie.
in Fort Lauderdale, there's this guy used to come in and I go, "You look familiar." And he goes, "I was a Marlboro man." And I went, "What?" And then he came in and I'm trying to remember his name. It's not Vince. It was some cool name. And he for I think 20 years he was the Marlboro man.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
Yeah, he was a
That's
male
cool.
model. Oh, I'll remember his name like 2 o'clock this morning.
That's
He
cool.
was such
Make
a
sure
cool
make sure you
dude.
text us it too when you remember.
I will.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's what I've been up to. Let's go with Ronnie Fulton. What have you been up to?
I can't really think back more than 3 to 4 days. It's kind of common, but that puts me at Hartville Tool. We'll talk about that, I guess, in a second. Um, Other than that, I'm just playing catch up and doing things that I have to do. I'm definitely in slow down mode right now. I'm feeling a little bit almost lazy, but it's partially because the kids, like Madison came home today. She's already out of college
Oh,
and they're getting their break. And so it makes me feel like I need a break too. I'm really good at telling myself I deserve a break, no matter what's going on. They have fall break at school. It's like, yeah, I guess I need a fall break too. Spring break. Yeah, I need a break. So
Mhm.
now they're on Thanksgiving break. So I'm like, oh, I need a Thanksgiving break. So that's kind of where I am.
and then
Um,
she goes back for finals, right?
no, she's out right now just until next week. Like
Oh,
she goes back Monday.
and
So
then
she's
she
not out.
goes.
Yeah, she's
Then
not
she
out for
has
Christmas.
finals. Then
Yeah,
she has
yeah,
yeah.
that's what'll be coming. So she gets out longer for Christmas, but for Thanksgiving, everybody went home pretty much that lives anywhere close. They all went home like yesterday. So she's done until next week. So So that's nice. She's at home. It's nice. She's learned. She's back to the normal of being at home. It's kind of funny. Um, coming home as an almost adult. So we were able to see her a lot yesterday. Um, that's big. I past 3 years I've wanted to record a video on things, some of my favorite things. I did that today. I recorded about 10 to 12 things that I think would be a good present for anyone who um was into tools, handy, that kind of thing. Just
Cool.
I've been keeping it in mind, since this summer. I was thinking this is something I grab a lot. So I was trying to think of all the things that I grab a lot, things that I use all the time. So it's a little random, but it's things that I use all the time.
Hmm. Things you
So
grab every day.
mostly,
Hmm.
or things that I find myself making
Yeah.
sure that
Is
I
this
have
video on
with me.
YouTube
Yeah.
or is it on your OnlyFans?
Oh,
Yeah.
no, this is OnlyFans. No,
Only
yeah, this
Vans.
OnlyFans.
It's
OnlyFans.
it's
Yeah,
the only way you can join OnlyVans is if you're a contractor.
there you
That's
go.
right.
There you go.
It's
Um,
van organization porn.
there you go.
So
So
you did like your top 10 like accessories tools that you
hmm
use
I wanted
all
to
the
do it.
time.
I wanted to do it last year and I ran out of time because my goal is I want to put it out on either on Thursday or Friday, but I feel like Thursday's a good day because
Oh
people are
yeah.
just sitting around and they're just waiting to eat or they're waiting to, what do you think?
I would caution you.
Really?
Yeah, holidays always suck. I've always
But,
noticed that. I was actually
but,
just talking to Nicole about it. I'm like, I'm not releasing a video this week. Because you would think that, right? You'd think everybody's at
hmm
home, everyone's sitting around. The problem is the holidays and most people have family. So like I have released videos on holidays before and I've never had a good result. Never.
I wonder if I did like a short, for example, with it to kind of let people know because I've had a lot of luck with like Instagram is always strong on Thanksgiving. And it's my theory because people are sitting there waiting. They're
Yep.
sitting there doing nothing. They're stuck in a house somewhere where it's not their house and they're just looking at their phone. And I've had a lot of things go viral on Thanksgiving the past few years. So maybe doing almost like a commercial for it where people will remember to at least bookmark it or go out and like save it. Maybe
I
something like
mean,
that.
try it. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope for your sake that it crushes, but
Well,
I've
here's, I
just
mean, you gotta
never had
remember,
good success.
I, I don't feel like really that I worry too much about something taking off immediately. I think everything I try to put out, I kind of just want it eventually to get traction. And I'm not calling it a Christmas list. I'm just going to call it like something about, gifts, a gift list for, that kind of thing. So it's not just Christmas. But it could be hopefully maybe a little more timeless throughout the year. So I guess it's not that important for me if it just goes crazy. Just meeting my weekly quota that I've set for myself, which
Yeah.
is really hard, by the way. It
Yeah.
is hard.
I don't envy you at all. The only way I would do that is if I did what I've said I've wanted to do all year, and that's spend 1 week each month just filming for the next month. So then I could do 4 videos in 1 week and they all come out the next month. But I never do
Yeah.
that. So maybe one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, a video a week's tough.
It is tough. You're kind of always thinking of the next thing. You're always like, Sedge is doing this. You're always, as soon as you're done, you're thinking of the next one of how you're going to pull it off. Some are harder than others, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm gonna do next year is I'm gonna release one because July and August and the beginning of September, it is the summer doldrums. August, July, August, horrible,
mhm.
horrible,
Yeah, it
you
is.
know.
June
And
too.
I'm thinking of in June. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do one or maybe two because I'm an every week guy. Sunday morning, 6 o'clock.
hmm
And if it doesn't come out at 6 o'clock, people are like, "Oh, I release it like at 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon," and people are like, "Oh, phew."
Yeah.
In the comments, they're like, "Oh, Sundays with Sedge, man, we love it."
Yeah. That's where it's
So
good to do it the same day.
and that's I like the regularity of it. Just like I like the regularity of this podcast. It's my routine, and I just get in the swing of things, and you know,
Yeah. It
It's the way
doesn't.
it is. But I understand it. Yeah, it is daunting.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just sometimes there's weeks we haven't released because, we're spent. But also our number one thing is family first. Chris and I is family first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
good.
I'll tell you what, next year, January through April, that's going to be my big time to like preload for the summer because come summertime, there's one place you'll be able to find me 4 days out of the week, and it's not in the shop. So,
Golf course.
yes, yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
phew. I thought it was that
Some
massage
people call it
parlor.
a strip club. I refer to it
Yeah.
as a golf course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and let me ask you all something on my next project video that I have. Making a point to only make things that I'd really need and want, and not just for content. It makes it so much better because then you like get something out of the time you spend. And I really need to make something. It'll be like my fourth like Bessie like clamp rack, like for the F style clamps. And I've made a mobile one once and thought that was going to be the last one in my life, and that ended up being in the way. It always was in the way. I was pushing it out of the way, and then went back to wall. I've done the little hangers, like the kind that woodpecker sells with the little triangles, but I have a ton of them, and I'm working on right now an idea, and I'm looking at where it is right now, but it's the wall under the boom arm. I'd like to do, how you have the long F style clamps, but the K body ones, but you don't use those all the time, and they take up room. And I'd like to put a row of those and then have like almost a second layer with hinges so you could open it up to get to
Mhm.
the long ones. But when you shut it, the short ones are in front of it, the ones you use all the time or more, but you can still easily get to the ones in the back. Because right
Mhm.
now, what I have is I have like the equivalent of those triangles, and I have like 6 or 7 on each one. And I'm always digging through to get to the ones in the back. And it just becomes a mess because those things are heavy. They weigh like 10 pounds a piece, 8 to 10 pounds each. So I'm thinking about, I like it when they're lined up and you can just see them and they're not stacked on top of each other.
Mhm.
That's what that's kind of the design I'm going for. And I don't know if you had any other ideas that I could consider when I was getting ready to figure this out. But
I've seen
my,
some really cool designs that are exactly like you're talking about. They've got the longer clamps in the back, and then it's on hinges. It opens up. Um, what is his name? He used to be on Instagram a lot, and he lives in Georgia. I cannot remember his name, but he had one of the coolest ones I had ever seen. But it was exactly like what you're talking about. Genius! It's a brilliant idea because you get twice as many clamps in one spot, and they're
yeah,
still easy to grab.
and where it came up to me was because I would ideally like for them to be single side by side and not stacked in any way, because it makes you not use them as much when you're having to dig them out, but just to have them, in their slots side by side, you can also see what you have. You can see the links easier. Everything about it's easier. That's kind of where I am with it. But that's the next project.
Tyson, Tyson Moore.
Tyson Moore. Let me write that down.
Yeah, you'd have to probably go back quite a ways in his feed to find it, but it's really really cool. If I come across it, I'll shoot it. I'll shoot you a text. But I think
Yeah.
it'd be good to give you some ideas for sure.
Yeah, so I need to figure that one out. That's the next project one. And then the boat build videos. I think that's why I drew blank. I am actually making a lot of progress on the boat build videos, and I feel safe saying that they will for sure launch in December. For sure.
What?
For sure.
How
I'm
many videos is this series going to be?
It's going to be 3 videos up to the point we are now. I'm playing catch up. It'll be 3, and I'll launch at least 2 of them at the same time with a third one right behind it. Um, I, I won't say I like editing, but I do a little bit. I like that I had 3 hours of footage that was all good stuff. Like after I took it down from 10 hours of footage, I took it down to 3 hours. And then you look at it again and you take it down again and again and again, you watch it again. And 26 hours later, about 26 hours, I've got it down to 45 minutes. And
Each one?
the first one, I'm at
Okay,
45 to 47 minutes right now.
So how much content did you start with for the first video?
The first video was, let's see when I took that out, uh, 4 to 5 hours for the first one. And I took it down to three pretty quickly just by taking out the start end. And then I went from 3 hours down to like 47 minutes now. Um,
That's not
that
bad.
no,
That's
it's
good.
good. It makes it not boring and watchable. And so I'm there. And then now the only thing that I'm doing now is like finalizing it up. I almost have the first one done. And it's taken a good part of the past 2 weeks.
And it was funny at Hartville, you were saying Kelly has watched it. It's just, oh, that's what you guys been up to.
It was really cool the first 17 minutes when it was finished. The first 17 was like close to done. I brought it back. I was working on it at the shop and I set it on the kitchen bar and she watched the first 17 minutes and I watched her watch it. And I could tell that she wasn't bored and she was into it. And when it was to the part where I hadn't edited any farther, I was like, oh, that's it right now. And she's like, there's not more. There's not any more. So that's a good sign because I'm trying to make it to where someone who even there that wasn't planning on building a boat would still be interested in it. The same way that HGTV or those shows, you don't have to see every step of how they fix the drywall repair. You see it kind of a high level. And that's where I'm staying. And I'm keeping the detailed things for in case we ever do something more with it. But it's a very watchable format. And it's also really, I know we can't always do this, but it's so cool to record everything you did a year ago. And it's almost a year to the day. Like it's within couple of weeks. There's so many things that I forgot. I completely forgot that something that happened or something. And I'm just like, I completely forgot it. It would be cool to record every single part of your life. It would be cool because you don't realize how much you forget in just a year.
Mm-hmm.
So that was it. It actually made it easier for me, I think, to put it together because I was looking at it almost with new eyes again, and it wasn't so fresh in my mind. So you have to kind of like put it together where it makes sense because it's not so fresh. But it's been almost fun, and I almost like editing.
Mm.
Almost.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
I
I
almost
enjoy
do.
I enjoy editing my videos.
I think I think it just takes time. It takes
Yeah.
time. It takes so much
Sedge
time.
loves editing his videos.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's very
you
easy
like it
for
because
him.
you don't have to. Yeah.
He's
But
really
but
fast.
that hour a minute on YouTube that I heard once is so accurate. An hour a minute editing is so accurate.
Not
Because
for me,
like
it's not.
I mean, I was down to that point of like, 17, 18 minutes and I thought about it and I was like, I had a good part of 2 days in that. And it just takes time. I mean, you can do it faster. Like that video that
Oh, I do it really fast.
Yeah.
yeah, you do.
Almost like he's not even doing anything at all.
Now, the video that I'm doing with the gift ideas and stuff, I won't have a lot of time in that at all.
Right.
It'll be fast. But this one, it's like I feel like I'm trying to make something that's watchable, like a show that like someone will watch the whole thing. And I'm hoping that my retention on this one will be the highest I've ever had. I feel like once I get someone into the first one, I feel like the second one, they're not going to just watch they're going to watch the whole thing. If I can get someone to watch the first part of watch the whole first one, I've got them.
I really like the idea of because typically um, videos, and Sedge, I know you're doing the same thing right now, but typically videos that are a series and come out at different times, they don't like they never perform on the same level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Typically, sometimes maybe. I don't know if it's just like life gets in the way, people forget about it, or they see the second one and they're like, oh, I never saw the first one, or whatever. I kind of like the idea of what you're going to do, where you're going to release the first two parts in two separate videos on the same day at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that idea because where I think that's really beneficial is like one of the metrics that YouTube looks at. I almost said Festival. One of the metrics that YouTube looks at very closely for people when they come to watch your channel is what they're doing after they watch that first video. Are they going to watch another video?
Yes.
And are they going to watch another video? And there's been times where I've thought like, okay, if I do a multi-part series, I'm going to release every single one of these at the same exact time on the same day and see if I can get that, binge watching mentality,
Hmm.
because that'll change things pretty dramatically. Um, but I always get greedy because then I'm like, well, no, I have 3 videos here. I have whatever. That's the next 3 videos I can launch. And then I'm always kind of
Hmm.
kicking myself because it's like, why didn't I try it? So when
Yeah.
I redo like my assembly table, or when I do my miter saw station, which both of those are going to be something that I do next year, but I thought about making them a series and doing that because I'm really
Hmm.
curious. So I'd be interested to hear how that goes.
Yeah, and I don't expect this to have any kind of viral aspect to it, but I just think it'll be a performer over long term. I think
Yeah.
it'll be something that people will find and they will um,
That
watch, and it'll be a long term performer.
that's what how I was getting in the beginning, a little overwhelmed and just Ronnie, you said Sedge. Just get through it, and guess what'll happen? People will binge watch it eventually.
Hmm.
You know, the 2 years from now they'll go, oh, and they'll watch all of them.
Hmm.
And that's what I want to do. I don't want to leave out any too many steps, and I want to take people along. And I've actually seen it in the comments. People go, "Oh, it's really neat how I can follow along with what's going through your brain as you do this." And I caught a little of that watching um, a video uh, about some guy working on an Airstream.
Mhm.
And it was just really funny. He does little excerpts about, he sits there and goes, okay, let me think about this, but in his quirky way, Jason Hibbs, Bourbon Moth. And I
Uh-huh.
thought about it, I go, that's what kind of what I want to go through with this, or I am going through. And I thought back at that video I had watched last year, and I went, I guess I'm doing what he was doing, going through
Hmm.
the thought process of that,
Hmm.
So it's kind of fun doing it. I don't know if I'm gonna do a lot of them, but Eric asked me, he goes, what's your next build after this? I went, oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, they
I,
definitely have series to them. They have watchability when they're consecutive for sure.
yeah, for sure. So, but I kind of like the idea you're dropping those two. And Jason, you're right. I think we've talked about, you dropping all those videos at once just to see what's up next to get people binge watching.
I mean, I've even thought about doing it um, with videos that are not part of a series, just like purposely launching 2 videos at once, um, just to see if like that. Because what would end up happening is people would, let's say, whoever watches that first video, and then it comes up as in the recommended for another one of the videos. Um, watch next another brand new video that I released, and then that would be like, hey, there's a lot of people watching, back to back videos or multiple videos on this channel. Maybe we need to push this stuff. So that's like the one thing that I've never tested, but it would
Hmm.
make a lot of sense if it did well.
Yeah.
Plus, the other
But
good thing too is when you do these series videos, now what's so popular on YouTube? Compilation videos.
oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. So I definitely would try that
Oh
out
yeah.
after I do a compilation after that of probably a 3 hour one of the first three, because the significance of the first three is it's getting us up to where we are now. And once we're up to where we are now, my format's going to change a bit. And it's going to be more about this is what we're going to try to get done in this session. It's going to be this is what we're doing and this is what we did, so that it can be turned around the same week that we do it. And
Mm.
it won't be as much to go through. It won't be as much footage, but the first three will be kind of getting you up to speed on how we are where we are now.
I would
Sounds
Wait,
wait
like
to do it.
go
sounds
ahead.
like bringing Cam on to work with you has given you a little extra time to work on videos.
It's time of the year too. I think it's time of the year, and it's also that I think whatever you focus your focus on, you can find time to do anything you focus it. And this will be like the 6th week that I've been trying to do one a week. I'm gonna try to stick with that. And when I say one a week, I hope in the winter I hope to be doing more than one a week. I feel like I'm playing catch up, and I feel like that it's Instagram's fault. And if I could sue them, I would. When they distracted me with those bonuses, I completely turned my head on YouTube, and it was profitable for me, but then they just yanked those away, took them away. Like I make $10 now on bonuses from Instagram.
Yeah, it's
It's
not even worth it.
crazy. It's crazy. Like if they think people are going to make content for that amount, it's just crazy. So it
I
took my
don't.
focus away. What's that?
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I
You
I
don't?
used to be religious on Sedge Tool tips, and now I'm just like, oh, I haven't posted in a week.
Yeah, I'm not stressing out about it as much anymore. I still like Instagram. I still like, doing that, but when I think long term, I just like that the YouTube stuff doesn't die. It can stay around. You can spend all kinds of time on Instagram, and it dies within 2 weeks. It's gone forever. No one sees it ever again, and it's just not worth the effort putting into things. So the things that I'm gonna put out there are going to be taken from my videos, so I'm not recreating content a lot. But I hope that we do more than one video during the winter. I'll be doing more.
Cool.
We'll be doing the boat build videos plus whatever I'm doing for the week. It's going to be
Wicked.
aggressive, and then we'll have to reevaluate when spring, summer comes. But that's a while from now,
Hmm.
Yeah.
so we'll see. Fun stuff. And then
Wow.
go ahead.
Jason, what have you been up to?
Not much. I don't really
Okay.
remember. I I don't really remember what I did. I didn't write down notes this time. What all I did after the last podcast. I did release the chessboard video, and my buddy did receive it, and all I got was a message that said it arrived. I cried. I absolutely love it. And then he sent me a picture of playing chess with one of his daughters, which I thought was really cool. So,
Wicked.
and I let him know. I said the video's coming out. I don't know if he's watched the video yet. I don't know if he's like waiting until he has his girls again to watch the video on how it's made. But that video has been just doing total crap. I mean, just about every video I've been releasing over the past few months has been not doing well. But I'm trying to not let it bother me too much and just keep plugging away. Um, Other than that, I put up all the Christmas blow up decorations today just so I could see how excited my kids were when they drove up. That was awesome. Did some work around the house. But after Hartville, and we need to chat about Hartville, but after Hartville, I continued my journey up to Strongsville, Ohio, and stayed at Patrick and Michelle's. I finally got to meet, which I think we all did, but finally got to meet the kids.
Yep, that was cool.
Yeah. And I really hit it off well with her son and um, their daughter's husband, Skylar. So Jordan and Skylar. Really, really enjoyed hanging out with them and talking with them, and had a really good time. And then we did Patrick's retirement ceremony. He retired from the FAA. He has 38 years. Congratulations, Patrick. 38 years
Wow.
of service to the government between the Marine Corps and working for the FAA. And so that was really, really cool. I got to be the one that
Congratulations, Patrick.
That's
I
a
got to
long
be the
time.
one that folded the flag, which was cool.
Did you mess it up?
No,
Did you
it
got
was
it?
funny. So when I retired, the Army and all their, glory, decided to give me a tiny little 3x5 flag, still wrapped in the plastic bag, as a thank you and a token of their appreciation as I leave after 20 years. So I took it over to Patrick's and we folded it, but trying to fold those tiny flags is a huge pain in the butt. And I remember we ended up folding the flag and we had to like unfold it and refold it like 5 times that night because we could not get it to where there was no, there was only the blue showing, which is what you're supposed to. It's sitting behind me and behind this thing now, but we finally ended up getting it. And so the whole time I'm like, oh man, I hope we don't have the same problem. But the flag that they got it's like a 5x9. It's a typical flag that you'd see on a flagpole. And those are so much easier to fold. And there was another guy that he was in the Marine Corps with that was there. I think Rob was his name. And now we pulled down the flag that was on the flagpole, put this new flag up. It flies over there flies on the flagpole. It was like 30 seconds, minute, something like that. Pull it back down. We fold it up. Present the flag to his boss. And as we're walking away, I guess Patrick has always been like kind of on the flag folding detail for the guys because his boss is the one that came up with this idea. Like, hey, when people retire, we'll do one of these. And the first thing he says to Patrick, and he goes, "Man, this thing looks great. Looks way better than the times that you do it, Patrick."
Oh, that's great.
So no, I thought
That's
that was funny,
funny.
but I was very glad to be there, and I'm thankful that he thought of me to come and do that. So was happy I was able to be there for that, and then got home, and here I am. But before we talk about Hartville, I'm very excited because tomorrow is Leo's first day home. Um, actually, let me say one other thing. For those of you that follow my channel, my Instagram, and were somebody that donated to the fundraiser that Leo did, thank you, first of all. He ended up being the top donations in the entire school.
Oh, cool.
So he was
Cool.
the head guy. Like he won he won tickets to a Pacers game, which I think we're going to in like February or something.
Oh, cool.
But today, the Pacers mascot came to the school, and all of the top kids in the different grades got to meet him. And because Leo was the top out of the whole school, he got like a basketball, a jersey, a Pacers hat,
Oh, wow.
a Pacers T-shirt. Yeah, he got all kinds of cool stuff, and I was
Huh.
super proud of him. But tomorrow's his first day for the Thanksgiving break, and Max will be in daycare still. So guess what we're doing tomorrow?
Going to play golf.
No, I wish it's too cold. We are going to put together the Gersner tool chest
Oh, nice.
Wicked cool.
in the shop. I'm going to film it. I'm going to get as much content with him tomorrow as I can, and if I end up having to finish it myself, so be it. But I told him, and he's very excited about it. And I have a feeling that tomorrow is going to be a awesome and emotional day because this is the first project that we've like done together. I cannot wait to see how this comes out on video. I really can't. I'm trying to get this thing released before Christmas because, like, matter of fact, I'm trying to get it released as my next video,
Right.
like next week,
It's a good
because
gift idea.
it's a great gift idea.
Yeah.
And the one that we're building, I mean, it's reasonably priced. It's like $340 or something like that for a
Wow.
Bolivian rosewood, do-it-yourself tool chest from Gersner. Like, and I think the video will highlight that. So I think that'll urge people, like, hey, this would be a really cool thing to experience, myself. So I'm excited about it. I'm super, super excited. I just hope that he
Yeah.
wants to stay out there. I really do.
I'm
I hope that he
curious.
wants to keep doing it.
I'm curious to see it too. I would like to see what's involved in the kit. Like I would like to see that video for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, it should be good. Oh, one last thing. Guess what I ordered last night?
7 inches.
Workbench.
No, not a workbench.
Did you
Ooh,
see
I
they
should
were having
probably do that though before
they're
the end of
having
the
a
year.
Black Friday. I even saw Woodcraft sent my mailer. They sent it at home. They're having a lot of people are having sales on those.
Yeah,
On
this
the
time of year,
boards kind.
Showbergs.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
so
do that.
I meant to tell you that, but yeah, no. What is it you're going to buy? You did
There it
buy
is.
Yeah, there it is.
I-
It's in there.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I bought a new camera.
Ooh, what you
Actually,
get?
I bought 2 new cameras. I bought the whole rig for the Shaper Origin to do videos on that, and then I bought a Canon R6 Mark II, which is a full frame 4K, and I've been shooting in 4K. But the reason I did is because Suman,
Yep.
yeah, with Suman Woodcraft, or I can't remember. Sorry, Suman, if you're listening to this. I can't remember what his Instagram is exactly, but he does great videos. His video quality is fantastic. And I asked him one day, I was like, hey, man, I'm looking at getting a new camera. What would you recommend? Because, it looks like your stuff looks great. And he told me that. He said, are you shooting in 4K? And at the time, I wasn't. I was like, no, I don't like how big the file sizes are. He's like, then you don't need a new camera. And I was like, wow, okay. He's like, you're not going to notice any difference in 1080 between the cameras. He's like, the one you have is fine. But if you're going to shoot in 4K, you will 100% notice a difference. And the reason why I really started thinking about it is because that camera you guys have been using for your videos.
Yes.
Yeah. I
So
like it.
Yeah.
if you're
But
going
you
to,
know what? We didn't. Somebody like I said, the summer was dull with us, but we got the Osmo DJI Osmo 3s, and I'll tell you what, people have noticed the
Mm.
quality because we do 4K 24.
It's significantly different.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And we've just made a real effort to get all the B-roll we can, and Chris is just doing a great job. So, but it is, we didn't, Chris said, not too many people will notice. Holy crap, everybody's noticing.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a second Osmo.
Are you?
Yep. Yep. I think it'd be good to have two. Have
And
one for B. I'll be moving the same one around everywhere.
and if
Yep.
somebody's considering it, make sure you get the studio,
hmm
right? I guess it's a studio suite because you get the mics with it, and that's
Yeah.
really important.
Did you see the new mics were released today?
Really?
DJI just launched the new mics, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, the it's it's small. The microphone
Really?
is like a 1 inch square,
No way.
and it
Damn
has
it.
wind reduction and everything. I just bought the new one like
Yep.
maybe 2 months ago. I had the
Yeah.
one before. I just bought what I called the new one. They just launched it today. It's on. I got the email and saw it. Went
Of
out there and
course
looked
they
at it.
did.
Yeah, it's the most significant thing I see is the microphone is a lot smaller, which is cool because that thing's kind of bulky.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mine's always on the back of my hat, and I use the little lapel thing, but I'm always wearing a hat. So,
Yeah, I mean, you can use the lapel, do the lapel mic, but I've never really. I just use the whole mic. But when I'm wearing my apron, it's fine. But when you're wearing a shirt, sometimes it's almost kind of heavy.
Well, have the little magnet that goes behind, and it's only
Yes,
about this,
yeah.
rectangular. It's not
What?
bad.
It's
yeah.
it's tiny. Like,
Really?
yeah, it's
Uh,
tiny. It looks
Yeah.
flat. It looks like it's flat. Maybe 3/8 of an inch thick and 1 by 1 is what I would
what?
guess. That's what it looks like. I was like, ooh, that's nice.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Just in time to write it off at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm thinking I
Yeah.
might jump on
Su-
that.
Suman, I wrote him and I was like, because I asked him for an affiliate link for it since he helped me out. I was like, be sure you send me an affiliate link and I'll buy it through your link. So he sent it and I wrote him. I was like, hey, I bought the camera and then I added about $600 worth of extra equipment. His very first response was, looks like someone's trying to burn up some money before the end of the year.
Yeah, that's right. Yep, this is the time of the year when you have to do it as a business owner. You have to think about
Yep.
what do I need?
Yeah.
Yep. And I've learned
But
not to wait till December to try to think about it in November because if you wait too late, you can't figure out what it is you need.
well, that and sometimes don't be like me. I bought the Lamello on I think I waited until like the 30th of December and the payment didn't clear until like the 1st or the 2nd of January. So I couldn't even
Oh
write it
yeah.
off that year. Stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I can't believe it's already 6:45. Let's let's talk a little bit about Hartville.
Okay.
What it,
What was what not to speed it up or anything, but what comes to mind, number one, your thought. Each we should each give one thought real quick, and then we can go into it. What was your
okay?
number one takeaway?
Me?
Yes.
Um, are we looking for like a good thing, a bad thing, our favorite
Good
thing?
good thing. What was like your favorite thing about it?
Oh, just hanging out with people.
Yeah, that's mine.
That's easy.
Mine was thanking and hanging out with Ernie Conover.
Yeah.
You know, he's 79 years old.
And still teaching classes there.
He's such an amazing individual. And last year he gave me my first Blackwing pencil.
Oh,
Oh,
he's the
that's
one that
right.
gave you the pencil.
Yeah, I
Okay.
remember that.
So you
Okay.
know what I did? I gave him 4 Blackwing pencils and a sharpener. And I said,
Okay.
sometimes, Ernie, you just don't know what a simple act of kindness is.
That's
He
awesome.
goes, I thought you were going to kill me because you went and spent all that money on Blackwings after. You did, didn't you? And I go, oh, hell yeah. But
Mhm.
he's
That's
just
awesome.
a really nice gentleman.
Yeah.
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 So, overall take on how busy it was.
I was I was kind of surprised by Friday because I don't know. I feel like last year, because I didn't get over there until 9, and they opened the doors at 8. But I feel like I remember last year we did they have the little pre-class, or even the last 2 years, because last year I wasn't part of the pre-class, but it was like as soon as those doors opened, like the floodgates just opened up. I
Yeah.
got there at 9 this time, and I parked right in front of the building. Parking lot wasn't full. And I would say around lunchtime it started to get pretty busy, but then it really died out in the afternoon. But Saturday, man, Saturday morning was wild. There was a lot
You
of
know
people.
what, though, Jason, I think you may have gotten there right before the rush because Cameron and I came in right after you, and we had to park almost in front of Hartville Kitchen.
Yeah.
Just coming like 40 minutes after you, like the parking lot was, I was actually surprised. I started down there and we just started going back farther and farther. And that we were passing the school buses and we ended up parking where we almost just came from, like by the hotel. And I was
Yeah.
like, wow, it kind of scared me a little bit because I was like, how many people are in there? But it's such a big place. It's
That's
dispersed
yeah.
nicely.
Yeah, I think that there was just a lot of people there looking at other things too,
Hmm.
because that is a very, very big place.
Massive.
Yeah. Friday was seemed a little slow to me. And then after my presentation on Saturday, it's usually dead because, and I said this year, I go, it's going to be ghost town for the presentation. And I think we turned, Chris said, oh, we'll get about 12 people. I think we had like about 50 people the day before Friday for the presentation. And because it was on Festival Live, we had over 100 people in the audience.
There's a lot.
And then I thought, okay, Saturday, OSU usually clears out. They're playing in Columbus. Plus, it was Indiana,
Mhm.
and that was the game to watch. I walked back up in the booth, and usually after that, I was like, oh, it's going to be Deadsville. It was busy at that time in the booth.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we didn't get out of there till about 2:45. And man, I got home at night and I was like, "Phew," I was dead tired, but it was good. And then Monday, of course, I told Jamie to send me the numbers, and everybody was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So I think there were less. Jason, you said it because I told you on Friday people were buying. I guess less tire kickers,
Hmm.
more people there. It's that time of year they're ready to spend some money, and boy, it was a very good show.
I
Yeah.
enjoyed looking at people's big rolling carts, what they had in there. It was
Yeah,
interesting. It
yeah.
was interesting. You'd see a full cart of yellow like DeWalt, and you'd see like a full Milwaukee one, and it would have like a Festal on top. It was like you could see
Well,
you just kind of checking out what people bought, what they picked up. A lot of times they're buying three and four of the same thing.
yeah,
I've noticed that
because
buying for crews.
with the red and yellow ones, they got to buy them every year.
That's true.
You
That's
know,
actually true. I mean,
And they
um,
that's
give them a bunch of free batteries to entice
woo,
them.
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. That's actually a really good point. For crews and for buying them multiple times every year, you have to buy when you can get the best price on it.
I
True.
thought it
Yeah,
was a good show. I always enjoy Hartville just because I like the booth. I'll tell you one thing that I think they absolutely need to change, and I actually talked to Jamie about this because he was asking my opinion. The booth has got to change. I think that gigantic thing that they have in the center of the booth is eliminating eyesight to everything that's behind.
Yeah.
No one really uses that Planex setup, anyways. If that, I was like, if you took all of this stuff and lined this right wall, so you walk in the festival booth and it's one big open room, and then you set it up to where it looked like a workshop.
Right.
hmm
This place would be so much cooler. There'd be so much area to move around. It'd be it'd be great.
we
I would even like remove the entire back wall, move that to the right hand side, so it's like festival display on the right, festival display on the left, and the back wall is a sustainer wall. And you know what you put in the sustainer wall? The inventory
sus
that you're selling.
sustainers.
Yeah. And then you
Yeah.
could be like, here's a whole row. These are all routers. Boom. You just go there, grab a router
Right.
out, people walk. And I just think it would be so much cooler because that's a
Yeah,
good sized booth.
Yeah.
I
That center display, which is just a 2x4 frame with it's where you can walk into it like a room. It's like a drywall room with three walls and a ceiling. It blocks the booth for sure. And you
yeah,
feel like you're walking in a hallway behind it.
yeah. Garrett calls it the mausoleum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
So,
think, yeah.
so Mark asked me what I would do at the end of the day, right before I was leaving, and I said, you see all this machinery right here? I would get rid of all of that, all the way to the knife cases, and put more Festool in. He looked at
That's
me.
a good.
He looked at me like, and I went, I'm kidding. I go, I
Yeah.
get rid of this. Um, it the cabinetry there has been hammered a lot, you know, and
Mhm.
that just doesn't look right. They didn't ever put a countertop in. It's that open drawers and back. It just looks almost dirty. So I
Yeah.
get I'm with you. Get rid of all of that
And
and
it's
make it
too
look like
crowded.
it's too crowded.
It can't be crowded the minute you walk into that booth. And, if you have two little tiny demos going on in those little L-shaped area, like that's all you have. Get
Mhm.
rid of that, set up a couple different, MFT stations and,
Yep, but
you
not
know,
overdo it. Not overdo it.
no, still keep it nice and open. But hey, here's the miters. Like you could set it up like a little workshop and still do demos within that. I just think that would be so much cooler. And it would be more inviting. I think people would
Yeah.
like want to gravitate to that booth. They would want to walk in and be like, wow, this is really cool. This
Mhm.
is what a festival shop could look like.
And I was always wondering where people were, and then I would walk around the mausoleum and
Mm-hmm.
go, "Oh, there they are."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Garrett's favorite area, selling stuff back there, talking to
Yeah,
people.
when I would answer some questions and then they would start asking about pricing and that packages and I had to run for help. I never knew who was around the corner. I just had to start running around the circle to see who I could find. Yeah, it,
Mm-hmm.
it definitely would be good for that to be gone. Thing about the Planex, I think most people when they're coming to buy it, they're already sold on it anyway.
Yes.
They've already either seen it, tried it, or know they want it. They don't need that.
Well, the other thing too, though, is did any of you guys go inside of that room this time?
Nope.
I just looked in
No
it.
one prepared it. So like
No.
you're not even all you're doing is sanding the paper off of
It's
drywall. So like what
that's
good is that? What's good at having it if it's not prepared?
that's
Mhm.
exactly what I said, Jason, when I
Yeah.
walked in there. Nobody put mud on there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get rid of it. Get
Yeah.
rid of that ugly backdrop. Like just it'd be so cool to just walk in and be like, wow, this is not
Yeah.
people would want to come in there. I would even, you know what? I'm tempted to even like offer my services to go out there at some point before the next show and help like re- reorganize it, for a more permanent thing. I go out there and stay in the hotel for a couple of days and help with that because I
I
like that show. I think it's a fun show.
they've really got it going on the second level up, like the second story, all the banners and the signage from anywhere in the
Looks
store, you can
awesome.
see it. It looks amazing. But I think what happens is you get there and then that's blocking your view. It almost looks better to look up than it does to look on the floor level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Although they
that
do
would
need
be
to get rid
good.
of those banners with all the paid actors.
Yeah, the ones the
Who is it? Drake cutting on the miter saw? Dude looks just like Drake. I'm telling you. He's not even a woodworker. Whoever it is, he looks just like Drake.
that's funny.
Must have shot that up in Canada.
But it was cool to
Um,
see everybody and hang out. We got to hang out both nights in the hotel and went out to a
Yeah.
restaurant and
Went to Fatheads Brewery. That was awesome.
yeah,
that
we had a
was really good.
great evening with a lot of patrons the first night, and then at the hotel. Yeah, the hotel was great. Um, the little pizza party that we do.
Well, the thing that's cool about that is, remember in the past, on we work from 7 in the morning to 7 at night. We're exhausted. We want to go out and have a quick meal and get to bed, right?
Mhm.
Then we'd go out and it would be like by the time we do that, it's 7:45, and they say, "Oh, it's an hour wait."
Yeah,
And then you go to another place, it's an hour wait. And there's like three places to go eat in Hartville. So we finally just said, let's just get some pizzas
no, it's
and hit the
perfect.
lobby.
That's
Everybody
perfect.
brings beers, chips, and we just chill, and it's so relaxing. Even
Honestly,
Chelsea from Hartville hung out with us. Vic was
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
Everybody was there.
Yeah, that
It
was
was
cool.
cool.
I honestly believe that like that's almost a better option at just about any of these events that we go to
Same. Yep.
because it's so impossible to get
Mhm.
Yep.
a table anywhere. I mean, heck, we experienced it at the con that second night, trying to go across the street and was like, it's going to be over an hour, and it's like, where do you go with 20 people?
Right, right. It makes it hard.
And the thing is it's loud there, where in the lobby or we could just chill and talk, and we can hear people.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really cool hanging out with Vic all weekend too.
Yes.
God, is he funny.
Vic who?
Tessalon.
Never heard of him.
Oh my
He's
God.
hilarious.
He sold out, I think, of everything. That was his first time he did that show.
I did
Man,
get to
he was a
use.
everybody was like using a Melbourne tool. It was awesome.
Yeah, he was kind of in a crap spot. I wish that they would have put him in a little bit of a better location, but
Yeah.
I got to use some of those planes. Those are nice. I'm gonna
Oh
get
yeah.
some.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna get
They
some.
are.
Yeah.
I got to make these purchases soon.
They got a great go to market where they go, hey, we're not the high end. We're definitely not the low end. We're right in the middle, and we're affordable at a they are super high quality planes
Yeah, they're very
and
nice.
scrapers and spoke shaves. But we got a great price point too.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was fun. I look forward to it again next year. I would say I don't know, between Hartville, I mean Hartville's not it's just a big tool sale, right? I mean
Yes.
it's yeah, that's all it is. It's not a I guess it's a show, but it's not. I mean it's a big sales event, but it's a fun event because so many people come to it and you get to meet so many great people and especially for us that people are like, "Oh, I like your social media or I like your YouTube."
I met a
That's
couple
awesome.
new patrons too.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was cool.
Yeah, we had some come through, head and hang out. It's awesome.
I think that between that JLC and Texas
Texas.
Woodworking Festival, I think those are probably my three favorite. And if I had to pick my favorite one, if I had to put them in an order, I think it would be this is tough. JLC, then Texas Woodworking Festival, then Hartville. And I think if anybody listening is looking for some fun shows to go to that are not overwhelming, right? Because IWF is overwhelming. KBIS, all these major trade shows. Trade shows are overwhelming. Like they're fun, but they're a lot.
Mm-hmm.
AWFS a little bit different. I think AWFS is actually a little bit more consumable because it is quite a bit smaller. But if I had to pick three shows, and you were looking to go to one for the first time, it would be one of those three for sure.
Yeah.
And they're not super crazy expensive either, unless you just buy a lot of stuff, which I did buy some things. I spent $500 the first 10 minutes I was in Hartville on Wera wrenches and stuff that I don't even need, but I'm a sucker for that stuff. So
I
yeah,
spent I spent 1,700, but it was pre-planned purchases. I knew that I was going to get almost all of it. So
yeah,
back to the end of the year talk. Bought a welder. Cameron's super excited. He's going to teach me how to weld. We started yesterday. So cool. I've never done it before. And he's been welding for 2 years in school. I've never seen him do it. We we got it hooked up, plugged in. He puts the shield on, all the equipment and stuff. He starts going, had this big metal plate, and he lays down this 4-inch, like, looks like a perfect little, ribbon on and he was like, now I want you to try it. He told me what to do. He just wanted to show me how hard it was. He was like, just go steady. He goes, when you're going to see a puddle, stay in the puddle and just pull slowly. So you stop and I pull the mask up to see what I did. And it looks like a bug, like just spat out little metal bits everywhere. He was like, you went too fast. You did this and did this. So he showed me how to do it. And it was really cool because I've never even touched a welder before. And he has a
how
lot
many
of
times did you
experience.
get the stick stuck?
None, because he
Oh,
did
good for
tell
you.
me. He said if you stop, the stick will get stuck. So make sure you start moving before you do it. So I did not my problem was opposite. I didn't go slow enough, and I was kind of spotting. I wasn't doing it solid. And he did it again. He showed me how slow he went. He's like, watch that puddle, and I did it the second time, and I did a lot better the second time. But I still wanted to go a little fast on the second time. But he's got it down. He knows how to weld. He's been telling me he teaches a class whenever they have welding at school. It's pretty cool. So
The
we've got all kinds
teacher.
of things we want to do, repair trailers. We want to change out the jack on the front of a trailer from the other kind. There's all kinds of things we want to do. Fix the dump trailer tailgate. And so it's like open up a whole nother area of way of repairing. So I'm excited. Yeah, we
The
picked that up
teacher has
finally.
become the student.
I know it's
Mm.
really neat. He says he's going to teach Sedge how to weld too.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's cool. So that's fun. We
Very
did
cool.
that. And then I know I've talked on the podcast a lot about the new Milwaukee roofing vinyl siding gun. I was really excited about getting that, but they sold out of it. When I asked the rep, he's like, "Oh yeah, no one can get that. It's hardly even available, but we can ship it to you." So I was like, "I don't need you to ship it to me." And then while Sedge's demo was going on, I brought up an Amazon. It's not even available on Amazon. So I went back upstairs and I was like, "Can I please order it?" So they're going to have it, and within 2 weeks it should come to the house.
Oh, cool.
So I need it for something specific, and I'm trying to get it on one of our rentals. Um, so that's good. Ordered that. Got a grinder with 2 free batteries. You have to buy a tool to get the 2 batteries, so I went ahead and got that. And yeah, that was the highlight, the biggest thing that I probably bought. Sedge probably didn't buy as much as us because he was so busy running
I,
around. He was never a time.
Sedge, did you buy anything?
Yep, I got two Carhartt baklavas there.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
But there was never a
What? How do you
time
pronounce
that
that again?
Baklava.
Yeah, baklava. I call them baklavas. You know that Greek pastry.
yeah, that's what I
But
heard called. I was
No,
going to
that's
tell
So
what
I
you
you
got
really
two of
bought.
those.
there
So
was
two
there
of
was
those were
never a
60
time
bucks.
you were not talking to somebody the entire time.
I know.
You were never you were never not talking. And I
So
told Cameron, I said, he's got to be wiped out.
when I get home and for the first 2 days, two words I don't want to hear. Marianne
Hey,
laughs at
Sedge.
this. Hey Sedge. Hey Sedge. You know
It's
what?
funny.
I love it though. I like talking with people. Duh. That's
We
what I
were
do for a living. But
we were leaving. We were
the thing I
leaving and we missed you. We realized we didn't say bye to you. We were in the car and we pulled back down and we were like, first thing I run up the stairs and I see him. You know what I say when I yell across? Hey, Sedge. Trying to get him to stop. Hey, Sedge. He turns around. He's just like, "Arr," like almost
well,
the end of his rope.
so the tough part of that show for me is the other presenter gets off. Ernie was getting off at 11:30 and everybody rushed him. And I have to get everything set up to be live at noon for Festool Live. And I'm a little anxious. And first thing, people start running up to me. Hey, Sedge, I got a quick question for you. I go, hey, I got to get set up first. Oh, okay. But I got a question for you. And I don't want to be jerky or mean or anything. I go, hey, can you do me a favor this time? Just let me get my stuff set because I have to go on at noon. Oh, okay. But I got a question for you.
Mhm.
And one guy was very persistent. I go, I'll tell you what, I'll answer it when I'm ready after Festool Life. He goes, okay. He kept asking me a question.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be rude. I don't want to hurt feelings or anything. So I just turned my back and kept going and doing my stuff. He came up afterwards and said, hey, I got that question. Awesome. Let's get
Mhm.
that taken care of.
Yeah.
And people don't listen. They don't see that need sometimes. And I don't want to show my frustration. And then on Saturday, I don't care if we start at noon,
Hmm.
Right.
ask
Yeah.
the
The live day,
question.
it's important. Yeah.
The live day, it's important. And it was kind of funny. The second day, Chris is always there to help me. He shows up at 5 of noon. He said, you need any help? Oh, typical Cybert.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
But he knows I didn't care. I could start at 12:30. I don't care. He ain't filming. He ain't doing nothing. It was Saturday, so much laid back. But he says, "Oh, we'll have like 12 people because of the game." Mm-mm. He freaked out when he came down. He went, "Oh, it was nice."
That's cool.
Yeah, and just all the people that showed up. I had great conversations with Jeff and Will from Woodpeckers. Jared showed up. Did you guys know that?
Yes.
Jared Green?
Yes, we saw him in the
Oh,
knife case aisle, and Cameron actually saw it first. He goes, "Dad, we know that. We know him. We know
Yeah.
him." And I
I
was
was the
like,
only one he
"Oh,
talked
yeah."
to. You know why? Because he got called back to work. There was a part in production that they had to test. and him and Zach, and they rushed out of there. He sent an email. He goes, Sedge, I think you're the only one I talked to. I had to leave after the first 10 minutes I was there.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
know. I
bummer.
only
I didn't
saw
get to
them
meet him.
once.
He's such a good dude, man. Yeah. So
I
he's
did talk
probably
to
listening.
Will on Friday.
Yeah, Will and Jeff was there, and just everybody. It was cool. I met a guy named Andy who works for Woodpeckers. He was in that aisle with Woodpeckers. The nice thing is they didn't have the tent,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? Oh, I felt bad for those people last year out there.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't even go out, didn't know it was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in all, I think it was a success like it is every year. And now
Yeah.
things will be fairly quiet from now until end of February.
You think so?
Yeah. Well, I am going to visit Don Sargood in December because he was the winner of my Patreon shop meet giveaway. So I'm going to go visit him. But other than that, I don't really have much of anything, I don't think, in January or February. I'll be honest with you, though. I think.
Oh, you didn't get it? You didn't get invited to the festival 100 year?
Oh,
New
wait. Yeah,
product?
that isn't. Well, that's here. That's not really traveling.
Well,
It's in my backyard, Sedge.
well,
my
it's
backyard.
important. It's
It is
important.
important. But I mean, like,
Ronnie, you're going to be there,
traveling.
right?
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. The three splinters are going to be together.
3 Splinters will be back together
Three
in
splinters.
February.
Got wood.
There you go.
Got wood, 3 splinters, grain and grit. There's some other good ones. Well, I'm going to have to jump off because we're past 7 o'clock now and I'm cutting into Nicole's workout time.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
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 Oh my gosh. Every time. Oh, look, it's the
It's Tom
cat.
He
Silva.
just woke up. Say bye-bye. You say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the kitty. That's so cute. Bye, kitty.